Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, are the Lakers beginning to play with fire? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, check out our Dreamerspro premium community, Dreamerspro Max, which is an online sports community. It's a place where you can go and start discussions, sports discussions, and debates. Chat live with us during games and go live with us after games, consume original content that you're going to be able to get nowhere else, and do so many other cool things. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to check it out in the description below and get 7 days of free access. So check it out. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So this is a topic, sorry if I sound a little bit monotone. It's just Sunday here, so things are a little bit calm today. But anyway, let me get into this topic here. So y'all know, at least the people that have been following this channel, y'all know that Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. I've said this time and time again. It is no secret. I don't hide my feelings on it. I think Kobe is the third greatest player of all time behind Jordan and Kareem. Those are my opinions. And, you know, for me, I also think he's the greatest Laker of all time, and I also think he's the best Laker of all time. For sure, the best Laker as far as a basketball player. I think he's the best Laker of all time, and the greatest. And even Magic Johnson, he himself has admitted as much on many different occasions. Magic Johnson has said Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time, but obviously some people say Magic is the greatest Laker of all time. It really all depends, number one, on your generation and your preference, right? But for me, I don't think there was a better basketball player ever that ever played with the Lakers than Kobe Bryant, in just my opinion. That's just what I feel. So we all know this about Kobe. We know Kobe is one of the most heralded players of all time, and we know that Kobe Bryant was addicted to basketball. He was addicted to basketball. He was the most hardworking player in the NBA. Some people have said that Kobe was probably a harder worker than Michael Jordan. Let's think about that for a second. They said Kobe Bryant had a much higher work ethic than Michael Jordan, and there's so many stories about this. Go back to the 2008 Olympics. If you were following basketball all the way back then, if you weren't, then this is going to seem like new news to you. But when Kobe Bryant went to the 2008 Olympics, all the players that he went to go play with, LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, all of these guys, when they finally got a chance to be around Kobe and see how Kobe trained, they just realized that this guy was on a completely different level. There's so many stories about Kobe Bryant's work ethic, and from that point forward, that's when guys' work ethics, those guys that were around him, went to the next level. Everybody knew Kobe was the best player in the league at that time. There was no question about this, right? Thank God we didn't have people like Nick Wright on TV that was just out there saying this foolishness. Everybody knew this. Everybody knew this. Jerry Colangelo, everybody knew this. And when Kobe Bryant walked into that arena, there was no question about who the alpha was on that team. And because remember that team, the same team with all these guys I just mentioned, Allen Iverson, LeBron, all they had gotten this, I think it was the bronze in the former Olympics before that. So how could they be that great and they couldn't even win a gold medal with all these great players on the team? So listen, we all know who Kobe Bryant is, and he never cut corners and he never cheated the game. He gave the game 150%, and which was one of the things that kind of hurt him later in his career. But the decisions that were made in his 17th year in the NBA were some of the most head-scratching decisions that you could ever have any player make or any organization make regarding a player at the age of 34 years old. If we go back and look at Kobe Bryant's stats at the age of 34, right? Because we all live in this world where, you know, things are sad and people just run with it. Nobody does research. They listen to Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, and a few others, and they just take it to be, oh, this is the truth. When you say this is the most amazing, people just say things, right? People just say things, and people take stuff and run with it. They don't do any research. They just, take things at face value, and they say, oh my God, this must be true, when in reality, it's not. At the age of 34, put this into context, Kobe Bryant was averaging 27.3 points per game. He was shooting 46.3% from the field. Back then, when the NBA was not so centric on three-point shooting and teams could play a little bit more defense, Kobe was shooting 46% at his age. He wasn't a very, very good three-point shooter that season. He shot 32%, but he didn't really focus on the three. He only attempted 5, and it wasn't a focus of his. He shot 84% from the free throw line, got you, 5.6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.4 steals. Kobe was playing so good at that age that they started to give him the name Vino. They were like, how is this guy playing so well at this age of 34 years old? Because Usually players don't play at that level at that age. Now, Michael Jordan, who I believe retired at 35, his last season with the Chicago Bulls, he was averaging, I think, Michael Jordan at the age of 35. The age of 35. So when people go around on TV and say stuff, you gotta listen, you gotta do research. People just talk, right? Jordan at the age of 35 was averaging 28.7 points per game. He shot 46.5% from the field. He shot 24% from the three, but Jordan didn't pay attention to shooting the three. The year before, he shot 37.4, and by far was the best player in the league at that time. He shot 78% from the free throw line. He got you 5.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.7 steals, and won an NBA title at age 35, right? And the finals MVP. That was Michael Jordan. And I think he also won a regular season MVP that year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So there have been players that have played at 34, 35 that have had amazing seasons. Stop listening to guys in media. They just have agendas and they're trying to paint pictures. If people don't do their research, which most people don't, then they're just going to take this stuff and run with it, right? Now, Kobe, at the age of 34 in that season in year 17, there was something very alarming going on. Kobe Bryant in that season was playing 38.6 minutes per game. 38.6 minutes per game. That's absurd. That's ludicrous. Even Michael Jordan, when he was questioned about it, he said this is ludicrous that somebody at this age has to play 38.6 minutes a game for the team to be competitive. Because remember, in the offseason, the Lakers had acquired Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, and they had Pau Gasol, and this was the team that was supposed to go to the NBA Finals, which obviously ended up not happening. And the team was excruciatingly inconsistent all through that season. Laker fans will know this. Laker fans watching this video, I'm sure they know this story very, very, very well. And this story is going to hit home for them, at least the honest ones. And Kobe just had the attitude of, come hell or high water, the Lakers are going to do whatever it takes to get to the playoffs. And Kobe made a public declaration that we are going to make it to the playoffs. These were the words of Kobe Bryant. He said it, right? And he said it to the media. And at that time, I think they were out of the playoff picture at that time. Just imagine it. And he just went on this, just tour de force all on his own. He just basically willed that team into the playoffs, and he was playing a ludicrous amount of minutes. And Mike D'Antoni, who was the coach of the Lakers at that time, this is when the Lakers couldn't get anything right. This was when they were under the stewardship of the brother, Jeannie Buss's brother. I forgot his name. I think Jim Buss or something. I don't remember his name. And, they just couldn't make any decisions, and they went and hired Mike D'Antoni. Kobe Bryant scrapped that offense that they were running, and they just ran the offense exclusively through him. And they were pushing his limits and playing Kobe a ludicrous amount of minutes. But Kobe was determined for the team to make it in the playoffs. That was the reason why he was playing all of these minutes, right? And he went on a run like something if you're going back and look at that run that Kobe went on, those stretch of games, those 20 plus stretch of 25 plus stretch of games, it was incredible, like incredible stuff. Laker fans who probably were watching at that time will remember this very, very well. But what happened in the 78th game of the season? What happened to Kobe? That game that they were playing against the Golden State Warriors, he had already went up and gotten two like crazy fouls, hard fouls, where he was holding his knee and something else, and he was like limping around the court. And then finally he was making a move on Klay Thompson, and boom, he ruptured his Achilles tendon, and his body gave out on him. Just like that, everything came crashing down. We all remember that, right? All of that work came crashing down at that moment, and ultimately the Lakers did make it to the playoffs, in which case they got swept in the first round by the San Antonio Spurs. I remember this vividly, right? And Kobe was in the locker room crying and trying to hold back tears and all of this different stuff. For the remaining 3 seasons of Kobe's career, Kobe Bryant played 6 games, 35 games the next season, and 66 games. That was the year he retired. He was no longer himself anymore. And all of that was brought on by that season at the age of 34, where they ran Kobe's body into the ground. Lakers management knew exactly what they were doing, because they knew that, number one, they had to get into the playoffs because of the because of you know how much money the team's making in the playoffs, and they knew that Kobe was the only one that can get them there, so they had no problem riding him all the way to the wheels fell off, literally in this case, until he ruptured his Achilles tendon. Now, you would have thought that the Lakers would have learned their lesson. I was a Kobe fan, so if any Laker fans are feeling a type of way, that's your damn business, because I was supporting the team too. I'm just telling it like it is. Get out of your feelings and listen to what I'm saying. You would have thought that they would have learned their lesson after what happened with Kobe Bryant, but no, they didn't. They didn't. The Lakers, as we currently speak, have the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. That Lakers team was outside of the play. They were pushing to get into the playoffs. It wasn't like as if they were the number 6 seed, the number 5 seed, the number 4 seed, the number 3 seed, let alone the number 3 seed. They were outside of the playoffs trying to get in, right? Kobe was trying to make something of that season. And he said that was the most frustrating team he had ever been on. Those are his words. The Lakers are currently the number 3 team in the Western Conference. Skip Bayless, on numerous occasions, has said on national TV, LeBron and these guys are playing with fire. He is playing too many minutes. Shannon Sharpe is out there talking about his average minutes per game. Skip Bayless is talking about his total minutes per game. LeBron is in year 17. He's like, Shannon, he's playing too many minutes. Shannon Sharpe, with his usual trolling self, was there defending LeBron James playing all these minutes. Yeah, he's LeBron, he's the king, he's this, he's that. You know Shannon Sharpe, forgetting that the guy's 36 years old. Just because we haven't seen somebody play this well at that age does not mean you need to ride him into the ground and push him to the limits. But just like Shannon Sharpe, all of us think our fathers are invincible, just like Shannon Sharpe. And that's the reason why he kept on saying that. So last night, I was watching, I forgot what I was watching, and I got a notification on my phone. And they said, LeBron James injured. Breaking news. I'm like, what? So I quickly looked online and I searched and I saw the injury that he got, where he had some kind of freakish injury to his ankle. Usually when you twist your ankle, you twist it. This is your foot, you twist it this way, but he twisted in this way. He twisted it in this way. And the minute I saw that, I said to myself, why in the hell is LeBron James playing against the Atlanta Hawks when the Lakers have the number 3 seed in the Western Conference? That was the first thought that went through my mind. Why are they playing this guy against the Atlanta Hawks? They're 13 games above 500 at the time, and they're playing him against the Atlanta Hawks. I truly did not understand that. Guys, let me put this into context for you. Of all the players in the NBA, LeBron is number 12 in the most minutes played this season. The 11 players that have played more minutes than him have an average age of 28 years old. LeBron is playing, he's almost in the top 10 in minutes played this season, right? And I'm asking myself, why is he playing these games? What is the purpose of him playing these games? The playoffs aren't starting tomorrow. The playoffs start in May. So why is he playing all these games? There are 30 games left in the season. Anthony Davis is already out. LeBron is the last insurance policy that the Lakers have, yet he's out there playing games against the Atlanta Hawks. Why don't they sit this guy? The guy is 36 years old. He doesn't need to be playing these useless games. Him playing against Atlanta Hawks and them getting a win and holding on to the number 3. Who cares? The Lakers are still going to make it into the playoffs. So there are either one or two things. Is LeBron out there chasing stats, which to me is absurd? Why would he be? You're trying to get them. That if that's the case, then it shows me you're putting individual stats above winning, because you can't say that he's doing it. He's out there because we want to win when the team is already 13 games above 500. He could have taken that night off at the age of 36. People wonder how Tim Duncan was able to win 5 champions, because Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs managed his body. They understood his age. Right now, 80 is already out. 80 is already out indefinitely. And now LeBron James is going to be out indefinitely. And what I'm trying to understand is, what were the Lakers trying to accomplish by having them play that game against the Hawks? Okay, you win the game and you hold on to the number 3 seed. They lost. They're still in the number 3 seed. So what does it mean? If they win the game, they're going to be in the number 3 spot. If they lost the game, they will still be in the number 3 spot. They lost the game, the Clippers won, they're still in the number 3 spot. So help me understand, what was the purpose of him playing that game? And at the end, you're left with more questions than answers. And I honestly, I don't understand what exactly the Lakers were looking to accomplish by having him play all of these unnecessary games, given the fact that they should be trying to figure out a way to manage his body and his minutes all the way till he gets into the playoffs. But there you go. So maybe some Laker fans can help me make sense of this, because I have no answer. So whatever you guys think, please let me know your thoughts and comments about this, because I have no answer as to why LeBron at the age of 36 is playing useless games against the Atlanta Hawks, and now he's out indefinitely. Congratulations. Hopefully you accomplish whatever it is you wanted to accomplish against the Atlanta Hawks. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode.